So as always, this is another recipe that I got off the internet, and it's supposed to be really easy, so we will see about that. But also, I noticed that all the comments I saw were positive. So we'll see if I can mess this up or if this is truly going to be an easy ginger snap cookie. I love ginger snaps because I love to dunk a cookie, and ginger snaps are so good. Milk, hot tea, coffee, whatever your dunking pleasure is, ginger snap cookies are great. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've got my oven preheating at 350 degrees, and I've got two cookie sheets lined with parchment paper. So now I'm ready to go mixing up my ingredients. This takes a lot of butter. This takes 1.5 sticks of softened butter. So kind of room temperature, not melted, but soft, because we're going to cream this with the sugar. Okay, so I've got my butter in there, and now I'm going to add 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Of course, all of the directions and the ingredients are in the video description. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I got to put my brown sugar. One thing I liked about this recipe is that it had the measurements in both cups and teaspoons and also in grams. So I went with the grams, which for things like brown sugar, you know how they say like lightly packed? What the heck does that mean? So doing in grams is just a better way. So I've got my sugar and my butter, and now I'm just going to mix this together. And the recipe does say mix it until it's light and fluffy, about 2 minutes, which is helpful. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've got my butter and my sugars mixed together, light and fluffy. As light and fluffy as a 1.5 sticks of butter will get. I mean, we're not talking meringue here, right? This is just, it's well mixed. Fluffy. All right, so now I'm going to add molasses and an egg. I have never cooked with molasses before, but of course, all ginger snap cookie recipes that I saw use molasses. So here we go. This feels very old-fashioned to be cooking with molasses. I feel like I'm bonding with my grandmothers here or something. This recipe was very emphatic to only use unsulphured molasses, not to use blackstrap molasses. Now, when I went to buy molasses, because this is not something I had in my cabinet, I did not see blackstrap molasses, so I don't even know how common that is. All I saw was unsulphured molasses, so that's what you want to use. So that is a powerful smell, just so you know. Woo. It's going to smell really good in a second because I'm going to put all these spices in. Okay, so I got my molasses and an egg, and then I'm going to beat until combined. All right. That is an interesting color in there right now. All right, so now we're going to add in all the rest of the dry ingredients. I mixed together, since the next step was just all of the spices, I mixed them together in a small bowl. So this in here smells lovely. It smells like Christmas. It is ground ginger, cinnamon, cloves, salt, and baking soda. So the steps were just to put all of this in and then put the flour in. So what I did was I mixed all my spices and things in here. Then I've got my flour in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Hope this works. Should, right? Okay, so here comes the part where I have to deviate a little bit because she's using one of those scoopers, which I don't know. I suppose I should get for cookies. The only scooper I have is for ice cream. That's obviously too big. So it calls for a tablespoon and a half no idea if that's like a tablespoon and a half. I'm going to guess at this. The only thing is, this is really sticky. And now I'm supposed to put it in sugar, roll it in sugar, and then put it on the parchment paper. I feel like this is stickier than her recipe was. But you know, I don't want to put more flour in there because I have a bad habit of doing that. And then, like I did that, I think, with a recent, when I did the hamburger rolls, I think I put too much flour in there. After doing research about it, why maybe it was, it crumbled after I made it, is the number one reason I found in my research was too much flour. So I think with these, as long as I'm making them sort of consistent size, that they'll all bake the same, so it doesn't matter if they're exactly 1.5 tablespoons. I don't know. They need to have room to expand, so I think I'll do that. And this is a sticky mess, but it seems manageable. Houston, we have a problem. So clearly they were not spaced far enough apart, because I have a gingerbread cookie, one cookie. I'm sure I can find something to do with this. It's probably great with vanilla ice cream, I'm thinking. So I'm going to go back to my other cookie sheet before I put it in the oven. I'm going to make those little balls half as big as they are right now. I'm really surprised at this, but I guess when she said 1.5 teaspoons and make sure they have room to spread, she was not kidding. So let's see how the second batch turns out. All right, so batch number 2, I'm baffled as to what I'm doing wrong here. This was 8 minutes, right? The recipe calls for 15 minutes at 350. This is 8 minutes at 350, and it's better than 15 minutes. So my last batch is in, and I'm going to even try for like 6 minutes or something. I don't know what's going on here, so look back at the recipe, see if I did something wrong, or I don't know. I just checked the temperature in the oven again. I have a thermometer inside the oven to double check the heat, and it's spot on 350. So I don't know. This is an interesting experiment. We'll see what batch number 3 looks like. Well, here's the final effort. So this is number 3, which I put in at 350 for, honestly, about 7 minutes, which is about less than half what the original recipe called for. I don't know. Maybe I have the wrong idea of what ginger snaps are supposed to look like. I was thinking something lighter colored, more like some of these. Maybe this, definitely not that, but we'll see. It smells great. And the dough, and I took a little piece of this barky stuff here. This is very crunchy. That is very snappy. Tastes good. It's not overly gingery. Tastes a little burnt. So I'm going to go back and look at this recipe again. I'll put it on the video and the video description. And if you try it, please tell me. I'm going to keep searching for another recipe because this is not exactly what I had in mind. But I will let them cool completely, give them a fair shot, and let you know how it tastes and how they snap. Thanks for watching.